is Miriam Gaudelli from The Adaptive Human. I'm super excited because on today's podcast, I have Monica Sourour, who is a budget coach. Hi, Monica.
Hi, thank you for having me, Miriam.
I'm super
How are
excited.
you?
We all like money, but we don't like to budget it. We like to spend it, right?
That's right. Everybody has a little misconception of where's my money going? And I have so much, so I could keep going.
Or we know where it's going and it shouldn't be going there.
That too, yes. Nowadays, yes, people are thinking I'm saving money because of what I'm not spending on COVID, but I'm going to spend it on something else.
Yeah. So I went yesterday onto Wikipedia to just get some information on Amazon for my book. Because the point that I'm trying to drive across is that you have to keep going towards your goals, right? So Amazon, when they first went public, their shares were a penny each in 2004. And in 2020, they sold for $328 billion, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there going, how much of that was just impulse purchases because people are bored out of their minds?
A lot. It's all about the emails and the notices that they get and things like that. And it's so easy.
Yeah, so
easy.
I mean, I'm guilty of having purchased quite a bit off of Amazon this past year. I'm not going to lie, but I purchased my sewing machine.
Nice.
And now I've been sewing a lot of the Christmas birthday presents for my kids.
Oh, that's amazing. Having it from home is done. There's a brown box at the house every day that my husband invites the driver in for dinner. So I too have to budget to keep me in control. And I'm like, whoa, no, I have to stop. I have to put the brakes on. My problem is I remember all my credit card numbers by heart. So that's not a good thing.
Oh, thank goodness I don't anymore.
Yes, not a good thing.
But so I've been like, I bought the sewing machine because I said, if I can't go out, I might as well make our stuff. So it was a little pricey, but
it's an investment. It's just like I tell people for coffee. Going to Starbucks is a killer, even McDonald's at $1, but getting an espresso machine or a nice coffee machine, it's an investment. However, it'll be paid tenfold by the time you need to change it.
And the fun part is, I know I'm going to sound like a total crazy person. My toaster oven broke and so did my food dehydrator. And I'm like, oh, I don't want two appliances. Like I want to, kind of that Marie Kondo.
Yeah.
And I'm on Amazon and there's the Instant Pot oven, which is like 11 in 1 functions.
Yep.
And you can even make rotisserie chicken.
I love it. I have it.
You have it? I've been using it.
Yes. The Instant Pot, I got it as a gift and I thought, what am I going to use this for? And it's unbelievable.
No, I bought the oven.
Yeah. The oven too, the fryer. I have that too.
Okay. Yeah. It's like a toaster oven and rotisserie thing.
It's amazing.
But I did calculate how much it would cost me to buy a toaster oven and how much it would cost me to buy a food dehydrator. And this just cost me $50 more, but I wanted the rotisserie because whenever you buy it at the store, it gets cold by the time you get home.
And not only that, you don't know what they brine it in. This way you're going to brine your own, what there is. I'm sure there's some chemicals in everything they do, to make it look pretty and stuff. So.
And it fits like, I have a tray that my grandma used to use, like where we used to make like pasta in the oven for the whole family. It's like a huge tray. It fits in the oven. Like I can make a turkey in there.
Good. Well, you're Italian, right?
Yeah.
Gaudelli, yes. Nice.
We make lasagna instead of turkey for Thanksgiving.
Yes, that's good. I don't think I'm Egyptian, right? So I've never had turkey. My husband's Italian. So yeah, we do the Italian thing and it's much better.
So Monica, how did you get into budgeting, into being a budget coach?
So very brief history. I used to work on a cruise ship for 12 years. And then I worked in the ICU on the cruise ship. And that was whenever anybody had operational problems, they would call me and I would go ship to ship. When I came on land, I worked in hotels and I had this infinity for numbers. And I was a revenue and yield director. I was the first one in Laval, and I worked for the Saputos at the Group Chateau Vaudreuil. And I, excuse me, it was all about numbers and about bottom line and how not to spend, but to get more out of what you're selling and what you're making. Mm-hmm. So I started helping clients, businesses with their budgeting. And then I said, for them, it's millions and millions of dollars. I said, I have so much more of an impact when I help individuals. And I helped a lot of my friends, like I've hundreds of people over the years. I said, no, I need to do this for real. And my clients are from $20,000 a year to $600,000 a year as far as salary. And it's just an eye opener. And unfortunately, 99% of the people think if I have a budget, it's because I'm in debt. It's every person on the planet should have a budget. So I just love doing this. I do pro bono cases every month for mothers in need, mothers that work 2-3 jobs and that have really no money and trying to make ends meet. And it's work for them, but it works. It really, really works. And the outcomes are, it's incredible because I changed their lives.
It's so amazing that you do this because, you know, somebody once said to me, money is relative. And I said, oh, you're probably a rich person saying that, right? But at the end of the day, it kind of is, you know, because even I made my daughter like hoodies for her birthday, and I bought like this bamboo fleece that was $18 a meter. So it cost me maybe $30 for fabric and then the time to make it. But then I went online to look at how much those sweaters cost, and they're $100, like the same ones, you know? And so it's amazing how sometimes you can find some creative ways to cook. Like I know my grandmother taught me, being Italian, to make all of my own food. She said, if you want bread, make it yourself most of the time. You want pizza, make it yourself. You want stock, make it yourself. And you end up you do save a lot of money like that.
Oh, I'm a huge believer in that. This summer, well, we make all our own food. I'm gluten-free, celiac, so we do make our own pizzas, and it falls into place with what I stand for. The biggest point when people are spending money is takeout. One of my clients, the first time I met her, and this is a single mom on assistance, and her monthly bill for Uber is $1,600. I was floored. And she's like, oh no, I've spent $300. And she looked and it was $1,600. And the rule of thumb is every dollar is worth $3 of grocery. So if you spend $10 on a pizza, you could have purchased $30 of items to make it yourself. And how much does a pizza cost? It's water or flour. You let it rise. And if you're good enough, you make your sourdough starter weeks and years in advance. And it costs nothing. It costs $10 to make 4 or 5 pizzas, 6 pizzas. And the biggest thing is what people throw away. So in the meantime, one of my clients needed to make additional revenue, supplemental income, because she wasn't making enough. So I said, sell Tupperware. I believe in Tupperware because it helps you save and you don't throw it away. And it's all about throwing your food away. You know, you clean your fridge on a Sunday, take a picture of everything that you're throwing away and cost it and see what it is. Yeah. And I said, if we were, God forbid, like we were never allowed to go out of the house for a month, would you have enough food in your house to survive? Most probably. Most probably. So your grocery bills of $1,000 a month for a family of 4 is too much. It's too much.
That's nuts. You know, I threw away 3 zucchinis because I forgot that they were in the back of my fridge, and I was so angry with myself because I don't come from a background of it being okay to throw away food. And it is true also, and I don't want to bash Uber Eats because it has helped a lot of restaurants stay afloat. But, you know, there's one restaurant in particular where if I do order from there, I pick it up. And then I ordered the same thing from Uber Eats and it was like $20 more.
Yep.
And I said, that's quite a bit divided by, we're a family of 3. Like that was a lot of money. And I said, no, next time we go pick it up. It's a little bit more inconvenient, but
I understand, like, the helping, we buy local as much as we can. Unfortunately, sometimes we get really disappointed, but we still try. However, if you're not a person that's eaten out, to start eating out, for me, makes no sense. And that people say, well, I have no time to make food. Well, yeah, if you take an hour on a Sunday, you can prep your food for the week. Well, I want to eat fresh food. Yeah, you just make your things. If you have an Instant Pot or something, you make your containers, you take it out, you plop it in there, and it's done. So there are always excuses. It's because people aren't ready yet. And that's okay. Like I've turned down clients because they're not ready. You have to be ready.
I started purchasing, since I got the Instant Pot, dry beans and dry lentils.
Yeah.
It's much cheaper.
Yeah. My husband did lupini beans the other day. Well, it took a week, but he did lupini beans. And I said, wow, I mean, a bag of lupini dried beans is what, $1 or something. Yeah. And he made a huge container, and it's better. It's not in salt. It's just healthier, and you feel like eating it when it's homemade.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's incredible because, you know, we don't think of these things, right? Because when you go buy the can of beans or lentils or something, it's what, a few dollars a can?
Yeah.
And then how many cans can you get out of a bag?
Oh, many. And the thing is that it's the convenience. However, we have cell phones for the convenience. We have everything. There's a guy that comes to the house and fills up your car with gas for convenience. Like, how much more pampering or do we need? So really, I remember when the stores were only open, they were closed on Saturday and Sunday. That was an amazing time. Now we can't live without them being almost open 24 hours a day. So there's a convenience, they say, because I want to eat out or because I want to buy prepared food. You don't ever buy prepared food, but it's so easy now to pick up your phone, look at Pinterest, look at all these sites and teach you. And I'm sure you must have friends, they come and see you. How do you make this and how do you make that? There's nothing better than my nonna teaching me. So I called Luigi's mom and she helped me make gnocchi. She helped me make all these things. So now we make it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's really good too.
It's always best when it's homemade, you know? So if you had to give one piece of advice to somebody, what would it be?
Make a budget, write down your expenses and your income. You want to make sure that 1 + 1 = 2. I have a lot of clients that have money, that are not in debt. However, they spend what they make. And yeah, we're making a great amount of money, but I'm not able to save. And then I do a budget with it. And I'm like, well, you're actually overspending by $2,000 a month. That means at the end of the year, your credit card or your balance on your bank is $24,000 less. As soon as I write it down, when they're off the phone with me, they make a change. It's instant.
Wow,
Instant.
that's
It really
that's
is instant.
that's amazing. You know, I
Yeah,
remember
and
when I
it's
was
writing it down.
24, I was in my last year of university and I decided to go to Europe. But I'm not I think I said it in yesterday's podcast that I did with somebody else. I don't camp, right? I'm not going to pay to sleep on the floor. I also don't pay to sleep in hostels and stuff like that. I want a hotel room with a bed and my own bathroom and my
Yep.
little luggage that I can roll. That's how I am. I've always been. I won't hide who I am. And so it was like $5,000 I needed to travel. That's a lot for a student to save up in a year. And what I did is I stopped going to the movies. And if I wanted to watch a movie with someone, we would rent it. I didn't eat out for the whole year. And I took an extra little job at the university where I just had to supervise a lab, which means I could do all my homework. And every penny I made from that went straight to my vacation fund, you know, and I made
But
it.
you have a budgeting mind.
Yeah. And the person I traveled with, though, didn't do that. So she wanted to eat granola bars for lunch. I'm like, we're in Europe. I'm in Italy. I'm eating pizza.
Well, you have a budgeting mind. People think that they're, why am I going to deprive myself to save money? And it's all about that. And that's what they think. And I'm like, well, wouldn't you like to go on vacation and actually have it paid and not pay it for the next 3 months when you come home? Even Christmas. Christmas, their tax returns and all of that is paying for Christmas. First, I think people spend way too much money on gifts, but it's writing it down. And once they write it down, they will change instantly.
Okay. And what can somebody do to be ready to make a budget?
They have to have the mindset that they don't, well, I work hard, so I deserve my Starbucks. They have to have a goal, because you know, having a goal without a plan is just a wish, right? So if I watched The Biggest Loser for 9 years and I'm eating my potato chips, 10 years from now, I'm still eating my potatoes. I'm like, oh my God, look what they're doing. But I can't say that I wish I'm like that because I didn't make any changes. So as of January this year, I actually did. I bought from a friend of mine, Nadia, that sells Arbonne. I did that detox and my blood sugar went from 15 to 4.
Wow.
So I'm ready. And I not only continued, I've lost 22 pounds since January, but I've actually continued because now I said, no, it's about my blood. It's about my health and my kids. So now I'm ready. I've never been ready before. No matter how many times I tell a person, well, you should see this and you should do this. I don't judge. I let people see what they our spending. I let people see and I tell them, so what would your choice be? And how would it make you feel if you did this? So, well, I don't think I'm not going to be able to have any more fun anymore. Like, but
Mhm.
can you imagine that everything is paid for before it's paid, before it's spent? And it's the opposite here. We spend and then we pay, if we pay.
Yeah.
So the concept of spending on your credit card, getting on your phone when you're in the car and making a payment to your credit card is no, that's like sacrament. Like, but why? Why would I pay my bill before it's due? Well, because you're just borrowing it for convenience to get points or whatever, but you should pay it.
Which is what I
So
do.
that's the big thing, which is an amazing thing to do. You don't forget, your credit doesn't go down. And in reality, that's how banks get you. People don't know. I have a $5,000 $5,000 credit card. Well, I keep putting $100, but I pay $100 every month. Yes, but your $100 that you're putting in, I did one for a client, her gym membership is $40 a month. After she pays it, it's almost $220 a month because it keeps going on the end and she keeps adding and not paying off there. So she's paying interest on the whole 5,000 or the balance of the last month's credit card.
Yeah.
So can you imagine? And when people, and these are intelligent people, but when people see this, it's so much easier. The bank tells you, oh, I've got this for you. Okay. And it's just having that knowledge. And I try to find information for clients that will help them. I don't push them. I don't judge them. I don't tell them what to do. I guide them and coach them.
Okay. It's amazing, because even myself as a business coach, I had somebody who contacted me and, she wanted to work on a project for the next 6 months. And I said to her, well, what are your goals for the next 5 to 10 years? And she said, well, I haven't thought of it yet. And I said, well, the problem is, if you keep just working on 3 to 6 month segments, you'll never have a bigger picture.
100%.
You'll never have an idea of where you want to go. And I personally don't believe in luck. When I see someone with a nice house and a nice car, my first question is how much do they owe on the house and car? But
Yep.
it's also, you make it for yourself. I remember somebody telling me
Yeah.
once, your sister's lucky to be so comfortable. My sister's a surgeon. And I said, well, she went to medical school.
For
She
like eight,
paid for
9 years.
medical school. She went through her residency. She had a baby while she was doing her residency. Um, so it was really amazing that people would see her as lucky when she worked so hard. I saw her not going out when her friends were partying and spending Saturday night at home studying and getting no summer vacation because in med school it's only 2 weeks. So it's really amazing how sometimes we kind of put we take the responsibility away from us, right? So
Oh, yes. They all think, oh, did they inherit money or who pays them that kind of money? Yes, there are some people that are in the right place at the right time.
yeah.
But yeah, people work hard for the money. And if you look at all these cars, I always wonder how much do they owe on this car? And it's all about what do I look like when I'm driving this car? I have a 2007 Sequoia. It's in amazing shape. I want to keep it for another 10 years. I don't want to spend money on a car. There's no way. There's no way. But listen, it's all about saving an emergency fund. That's the most important thing. It's about paying off your debts, and then it's about paying off your mortgage if you're able to. And then you save money for your kids. It's a process,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's being ready. When you're ready, you're ready. And I've told them you're either in the hell yes or the hell no or in between. And it's funny when I tell clients, well, you're not ready. The next week, they're like, no, I'm ready now because they've gotten the taste of what this can help them with. One of the misconceptions is, well, I'm going to pay you if I have no money. I said, well, I'll find money right away. Do you need Netflix? Do you need a huge plan on your phone? Do you need to eat out? Do you need cable TV and all that? I'll find money in your budget immediately. So it's an investment, like working with a business coach. If you are a coach or if you don't work with somebody who's helping you, sometimes you really need that. And it's important and you have to invest in yourself. How many times do people go to a nutritionist? I know what to eat, but I need somebody to tell me. I have to pay for that. How many times do I go to a gym? I know I need to do this. There's so much on the website, but I'm investing for a gym. Investing even in January that I don't even continue. So invest in creating a budget and working on a plan that will change your life.
Yeah.
And I also help my clients teach their children from as soon as they start making allowance, that there's a program that as soon as they have their allowance, and how there's 3 boxes, and it's the save, it's the give, and it's the spend. And after they start doing that, there's a lot less money in the spend because they want to save and they want to give, which is amazing. Imagine a child starts RSPs or saving money when they get a job. By the time they're 45, they're millionaires.
Yeah.
They really, really are, but nobody teaches them. We give our kids cell phones. We give them, I want this app, but yeah, but it still costs money. Yeah, but mommy, it's only $13, but it costs money. Yeah, and it's about getting them to understand what it's all about. And I do that with my kids.
So it's funny because I'm a foster parent, and one of the biggest problems with foster kids who stay in the system long term is that often, they don't get taught budgeting, they don't get taught a lot of these things. And my daughters are with me permanently, and every month they have to. So I'm mandated to give them a certain amount of allowance. And one of them, she's scared of being poor when she's older, and so she decided, I gave her the idea, but she chose to open up an RESP for herself. And she chose to put 75% of her allowance in there every month because she saw how much she'd get when she's older, how much school would cost, and how much she'd have left in her pocket. And she chose. And the other one, now we're trying to figure out what we can do for her because she wants the same thing, right? And it's so amazing, when you start to teach the younger generation how to save, how to budget themselves, especially now. I had this conversation with my mom. She bought the house I grew up in for 115,000. She sold it 13 years ago for 420,000. It just got sold again now at 620. And I said, but our salaries haven't gone up that much.
No.
But our expenses have gone up more.
Oh yeah, exponentially.
Because we didn't have internet and cable and Netflix and Prime and
Crave and everything.
cell phones and Crave. When my mom bought the house, it was just, you paid your phone line and you paid your house and your mortgage and you were fine, and your electric bill. Now there's all these like extra things that we have to consider, and I think it's going to get worse for our children.
100%. My in-laws came from Italy. Like my mom came from Egypt with no money, but there was no credit card. There was credit cards just for the elite. So they kept their money. The husband would give the wife $50. Well, she'd spend $20 and she'll put the other 30 somewhere else. And yeah, exactly. And these people that either have no or less education were so much better off at budgeting their money than we are. We think we're smarter than our parents, but we're not. It's the credit cards that put us in schnuts. It really is the credit card, and the credit cards need to go. And when I tell people they start with 15, 16 credit cards, you would need to get rid of the credit. No, but that's my savings. I said, no, you need to save the money. And once that happens, they're like, okay, I'm okay to cut up my credit card. Yeah. And it's those are aha moments for them, and teaching their children. After I help with them, I hope that they will continue with their children, and it's going to make us a better world, a better place.
But even kids' toys are different now. Like I still have the original gray Nintendo that you have to blow in the games to use it.
Yeah.
You bought a game there and you played your game. Now with the PlayStations, with the Nintendos, like you buy a game, but then you can only reach a certain point with it. You have to keep buying upgrades online.
Yeah, I don't know. Just to show you, I've never bought those. My son wants a Nintendo Switch. I'm like, are you out of your mind? It's $400 plus you have to pay $50 a game. It's not happening. Yeah. It's not happening.
I'm a big believer in used. So I buy a lot of stuff used, even furniture, and I love refinishing stuff, and I'll strip it, I'll repaint it, I'll turn it and change some key things on it and turn it into a totally new piece. And I've saved a ton of money doing things like that. So
I believe there's the woman who made Virage Sale, she was from Beaconsfield, so she was from the West Island, and now she's, I think, in California. But now there's another site that's somebody else's treasures. I just pay it forward, and it's for free. Anything is free, so anything you post on there is free.
Oh, that's
so it's quite amazing. It's on Facebook. I'll send you an invite to it. And it's to pay it forward, and I think there's so many people that need it. So many people lost their jobs. And so for me, it's a good thing. Even my kids' clothing, I didn't buy anything from a store. I found a family and I paid $1 a piece, and my kids were clothed until they were 11 years old. So, it's great. And then people give us, we don't do big on toys, there's Lego and games, society games that we can play together, Clue and Monopoly and all those nice games that we used to play when we were young. So it's fun. And now spring break, we found some free stuff with YMCA. So every day they're online with the YMCA doing stuff, and it's great. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But this is where people just have to work at it. They come home, oh, I'm exhausted. It doesn't take time. If you plan ahead, it doesn't take time. You're eating at McDonald's again? Yeah, but it's only $1.50. I'm like, yes, but $1.50 every single day. And you put it on your credit card, it ends up being a lot of money. And one of my biggest no-nos is coffee. Even the Nespresso, I keep looking here because I got an espresso as a gift. I never use it. It costs $64 a pound for Nespresso. People don't realize that. This little cup, it's $64 a pound. There's a coffee in Zimbabwe or something that a cat ingests and it comes out through their digestion that costs $100 a pound. But $60 a pound. It's insane. It's more expensive than Illy, than all of these coffees, and it's mediocre at best.
There's a coffee like that in Bali also.
Yes, so it's in Bali then.
They wanted me to try it, and I said no.
Yeah. It's so expensive, but it goes through the digestive tract of this special cat that it comes out whole, and apparently it's a delicacy.
It is, yeah, and it's interesting because we it sounds like you're having poop, but it's not, because the digestive system creates this shell around it, which anyways. So, but I completely understand, because there's some things where I'm willing to splurge on, and some things where I'm not, and I unfortunately had some last urgent things that I had to put on my card, and every month I'm like, okay, I'm 2 months away from clearing this out, and then it's getting put away. No more stuff on this card, and my other card is luckily at zero. So
there's some people, I don't sleep if I owe money. It's going in my head, okay, how am I going to pay for this? I've got to do this. And no, I don't sleep. And I don't like these layaway plans that, you can pay $60 for the next 55 years to be able to get a washer and dryer. It's just, you don't take into consideration, well, that amount of my salary is going. So you're thinking, well, I have all this money, but you don't after you calculate. So the most important thing that anybody can get out of this conversation is to make a budget. Even if it's on a notepad, you write what you make, what you spend, everything. I had somebody say, even if you go buy a pack of gum, if you get $100 as a birthday gift, well, that's an income. If you spend anything on anything, you get a ticket. That's an expense. You have a credit card and there's that the interest fee. Well, that's a purchase. Yeah. Like, why is that a purchase? I said, well, you paid $100, you got a $50 interest fee. Well, that $50 interest fee becomes a purchase now. Yeah. And it's, if people just write their stuff down on any piece of paper, of course they can call me and I can help them, but on any piece of paper, any book that they can get from the dollar store, it will change their lives. It will. Okay.
So if somebody wants to start working with you, what do they have to do?
Well, they just have to either join my Facebook group, which is Monica Money and Budget Coach, or I'm on Instagram, which is Monica_Budget Coach. And I'll give you all my details if you post it on your podcast, and just say, listen, we have a discovery call, which is anywhere from half an hour to maybe even 2 hours. I want to get to know the person, and I listen. I listen. The best thing I could do is I want to be that person that listens to you the most in your life. Okay. I want to hear what's going on. We have that call. And if we are a good fit, and some people really aren't, then we go forward. If it's husband and wife, I really prefer that they're both together. Okay. It's a free call. I have a link that they can book a free call, special call. And then from there, we would go and work forward. I would give them what the plans are.
Wonderful. That's amazing.
Yes.
I think you do great work, because so many people are in so much debt and they make such poor choices, and
it's from lack of knowledge, right? I tell people, and they're like, oh my God, I made a mess. I said, listen, what you've done up till now has just been experimenting. That's okay. If Graham Bell quit after he experimented the first time, we would never have a phone. So it's okay to experiment. But now I inject hope and say, it's going to work out, because they don't see what I see, but I want to help them see what I see.
Yep.
and they can do it. And it's, again, an investment, and it's not a big investment, as I don't think it's a big investment. But that amount of money will leave them with a goal. If you spend $3,000 on a purse, yay, but when you're not using it, it's in the closet. But with me, after you're done with me, you can make hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you can save so much more.
Yeah.
Just be happier.
It's crazy where our money goes.
Yes.
Well, Monica,
It's been so nice.
Loved having you here, because I think budgeting is something that people are terrified of, because I think they feel that it's telling them that they can't have something.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's just a question of balancing your choices, right?
That's right.
I will be putting Monica's information in the chat bar. This will be on YouTube and also on my podcast channel. So you will have different ways that you can get in touch with Monica. And thank you so much for listening today. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye.